So we're talking about the berry beds here. I'm sorry, traffic's picking up. I've been quiet. So that's another blackberry. Let me check the type. I think it's a Natchez blackberry. Glad I left the tags on these because, you know, I'm not remembering the varieties a year later. And this is a pawpaw tree that I'm really hoping is going to wake up soon, and I think it is. Because you can see it's starting to leaf out, but it seemed like that cold, it was just starting to put leaf buds on, and then it got set back. So hopefully it's coming, but I am hoping one day for pawpaws. Probably do need to get another one, but you know. And then there's my elderberry, that's from last year. That is looking quite happy and healthy, which makes me happy because it did look a little peaky at the end of last year. We've got a ton of strawberries. I've just been letting the strawberries go. There's a few things that are planted in here. Some kale that's getting eaten by the critters. And yeah, some of it's creeping out of the bed here. So I may dig those up and transplant them or give them to a friend. But then these are, I cut most of the raspberry canes down to the ground last year. Because obviously the roots are pretty healthy and I wasn't sure if I had borers or not. But yeah, they're coming back up. And then the couple that I did leave, just sort of experiment and see how they do this year, see what my best practices should be here, are leafing out, looking quite healthy. And like I said, the strawberries are kind of taking over the ground floor. Sorry, trees. Okay, and then blueberry. This is my original blueberry that I planted, and I didn't keep the tags, and I don't remember what kind it is. No idea, but it looks like it's loaded with berries, and hopefully this year we'll get a good bit. Had to bag them all up last year. There's the canes that I left. Let's see, and then here we have a few things I added in. This was from the first round of bare roots, and that is a fall gold raspberry, and it is in fact alive since it has leaves. The rest of these are, I believe, the original raspberry variety is Heritage. So just OG raspberry, and these are pink lemonade blueberries. Then it also started to leaf out right as that bad frost hit. And I covered all of these, but I don't think it did any good. And some of them, I did take most of the dead leaves off, but you can see there's some still, like it had some dieback, unfortunately. So I don't know what that's going to do for our berry production this year. That kind of bummed me out because I did enjoy them last year. But, you know, yeah. Got one little flower. So we may not get any pink lemonade blueberries this year. Raspberries, and then here's a couple of carrots in betwixt all these things. This is a black raspberry. Jewel, I think is its name. And it also hasn't, I see a leaf. Alright, it's not dead. Hot diggity. It had just been a leaf, or a stick rather. So I wasn't sure if I was going to get any of those at all. But I guess I will. Fingers crossed. Raspberry. You can see there's tons of sprouts down there. And I'm planning to try and figure out how to put up some kind of, I think I'm going to use the bamboo to make supports all along, and I'm probably going to have a ton of raspberry canes to manage this year. I may have to cut some out early so they don't get crazy. This is a kale that lived all through the frost and was doing really well. And you can see it's covered in aphids, so we're just going to leave that there since they're just bothering that. That is a beet that has been here since last year. And it too was doing really well, and then the frost killed it back, and now it's coming back. Learning things about how all this stuff functions in my garden. Let's see, strawberries all down, all around there. I do have some echinacea. This area over here is kind of the no-go zone though, because up until recently, all of that was flaking paint. It was potentially lead, and all that up there was too. We got most of it done. I still have, you can tell it's cracked paint there. I still have that to do, but everything else has been covered and painted and redone. So maybe this area can be rehabbed and usable for edibles in the future, but we'll give it some time. So that's the lower area beds.